Good evening, parents and guardians. Welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Miss Martin. I am teaching Ceramics 1 to your student. And so today I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the class, and then I really want to show you what they've been working on so far because it's really, really great. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself, just a little background because my path's a little different than I think a lot of other teachers. I didn't really travel a straight line to get here. So I'm not from here. I'm not from California. I'm actually from New Jersey. And I grew up there with my mom and dad. I had two older brothers and an older sister. Always a lot of cats and dogs. My favorite things growing up were skiing and swimming and art. And it's kind of funny because I found a journal that I kept in fourth grade, and it said that I wanted to be an art teacher when I grew up. So dreams do come true, guys. And when I was in high school, I went to a high school much smaller than OHS. I graduated with maybe 140 students. I played softball, and I was the mascot my senior year. So I put on a really big Thunderbird eagle type costume and just ran around like an idiot. So it was great. Right after I graduated, I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew I wanted to go see a new part of the world. So I actually went down south to North Carolina, and I went to Wake Forest University. And it was there that I studied studio art. I really just kept pursuing that passion, studio art and art history. But while I was there, I developed this passion for architecture. I had really always loved math and art. So people had already always kind of said things to me about architecture. And through some of my classes at Wake, I really fell in love. So I decided to continue my education, and that is what brought me out here. So I moved to San Diego to come to architecture school, actually. And I decided to stay. I really kind of just settled into a new life, a California life full of succulents and surfing. And right after school, or actually before I even graduated, I got a job working in architecture. Got to work at two different firms in my career, worked for about 9 years in architecture, but definitely had an itch. I love architecture, but I really felt like my passions and the things that I was really good at weren't being used. And I realized that I just loved kids so much. I loved being a part of the development of other people. Um, so being able to come alongside somebody in their journey and help them achieve their goals, help them find out what they're passionate about and pursue it, that became my passion. So I started taking little steps to becoming a teacher, found that journal from fourth grade, and decided to take these little baby steps towards teaching. Found myself back at school again, which I had sworn I would never do again. And became a teacher. So my first year I taught K through 3, crazy little elementary school kids. They were wonderful, but I was really excited to get this job at OHS. And I say I was excited, but I was also terrified, a little bit terrified of high schoolers. so, but it has been just absolutely amazing. This is my 4th year here at Oceanside. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be teaching your students, loving this age. So thank you so much for the opportunity to teach your students. So this year it's ceramics and civil engineering and architecture, which is great because now I actually combine all of the things I love in one job. I mean, what else could you want, right? I've got my art, I've got my architecture, I've got my teaching, and so I couldn't not be happier. We are virtual, so that's a little different. I'm already a new teacher, so I just feel like, okay, this is just one more new thing. It's all going to be fine. And to be honest with you, I've already noticed a lot of really positive things that have come out from virtual learning. It's not ideal, and I'm not going to argue that it is. And I am very excited to be able to meet your students in person and have them in the classroom. But I am focusing on the positive, and I have seen some really wonderful things coming out of virtual learning so far. And your students want to be here, and that's really, really exciting. So that's a little bit about me. The next thing I want to show you is our Google Classroom. And so this shows first period, but it's basically the same for first, second, and third period. And if you go to Google Classroom, you can access this. Your student can kind of show you the ropes here, but basically everything you need is here. So all of my contact information is here. So you can email me at any time. Please do. Anytime you have any kind of concerns or anything like that, it's going to be the easiest way to get in touch with me is through email. Office hours, class times, class description here. This is ceramics. We are going forward with ceramics, which is great. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, I was nervous because teaching it virtually definitely, a lot of people ask me, how are you doing that? But I can be a creative person, and I'm just, I'm really tapping into that right now. So, but I think that there's a lot of good that's going to come out of it. So, um, usually in the ceramics class, you really only learn ceramics, right? You learn about clay, you learn about glazes, all that kind of stuff, the history about that. But with this, you're actually going to, with the virtual learning, I mean, you're going to learn about other things as well. So your student is going to learn about ceramics, but they're also going to learn about drawing. They're also going to learn about painting, art history, other things that are a little bit more conducive for a virtual environment. I'm going to add those in. Okay, so we won't be able to do every single thing we wanted to do in ceramics, but I'm going to try to make up for it. And we're going to bring in some other things that you might not have had the opportunity to do. So I hope that that's a good compromise for everybody. There's a syllabus here you guys can look at. There's a little note on virtual learning, which is basically what I just said. But I just want to say also, I want to add that, these are tough times, obviously. How many times have you heard that? So, but art is such a wonderful way to express, create, and experience joy. And so what better time to have, an hour of art in your life every day, where you get to experience and create that joy. And really, it's very life fulfilling, life giving. There's a grading policy here you can look at. Basically, everything's just a point system. So I award amount of points based on how long a project and how involved it is. And then just add up the points and divide it by the amount of points possible for your grade. There's different assessment methods, and that includes, you can see a sketchbook. So a couple weeks ago, I asked your students to fill out a survey for me. And those who wanted a sketchbook from school stated that. Others said they already had a sketchbook. Others still said that they were going to go get their own. So those sketchbooks have been ordered. They should come pretty soon. Once they're in, I also got drawing pencils and will distribute them. So I will let your student know when that is available for them to pick up. If your student has any accommodations, please contact me. It's just the easiest way for me to really stay on top of it. So please definitely contact me about that. And then late work, this is something you guys as parents and guardians can help me with. This is a different time, and So I want to be very, like understanding and gracious, but also hold a pretty high standard. So I am giving 2 weeks basically since the due date for you to hand in grade work and still get full credit. But I don't want that to become the norm. So when things are due, they are due. And if I do not receive it, then I should be getting an email from your student explaining why. They should be contacting me and telling me, I need a little extra time because whatever. I mean, don't even really need to tell me why, but I need the heads up to be able to grant that kind of grace 2 weeks window. Otherwise, people just kind of think, oh, the due date's really 2 weeks after the due date, and then it just becomes this, kind of snowball effect of work. And then speaking of work, I always give enough time during class to get everything done. There shouldn't really be any homework from this class. And so, there is going to be a lot of independent work time. That's just the nature of the class. So when they are not actually on a Zoom call with me, they should be working for this class. If they're not on a Zoom call with me, then it's because they are supposed to be doing an assignment for this class. So they should be using that time wisely. And if they do, they should have no problem solving or finishing their projects in a timely manner. My rules really just deal with respect. I think that kind of covers a multitude of different things here. And then attendance, I always take attendance through the intro check-ins and exit tickets. So your student needs to be filling them out when they get into class and before they leave class in order to get marked as present. And then finally, I just wanted to share with you guys what they've been working on this past week or two here is the International Art Challenge of 2020. And basically what it is students use things at home to recreate famous works of art. So they dug into their closets, I'm sure they dug into your closet, and, found whatever they had at home, kind of recreated this scene and then created these wonderful recreations of artworks. So there are many, many to look at. I encourage you to go look at them with your student. They can access these Google Slide presentations for each period. And they just did a wonderful job. Really, really wonderful, wonderful job. They definitely employed the pets a lot. They did really beautiful sentimental things as well. So it's just really, really beautiful. And then this really wouldn't be complete without AJ here. This is my cat, AJ. She joins class pretty much on the daily. And so I'm sure your student has met her. And I love getting to meet all of your guys' pets too. And of course, don't ever hesitate to pop in and say hi to us as well. So I hope that this was informative. And if there's any questions you guys have, obviously just email me and I will get back to you. But yeah, never hesitate to just reach out. I love when people reach out. If you have a concern or you just, have something you want to talk about. So I hope you guys have the great rest of your night here, back to school night or virtual back to school night. And I will talk to you soon.